Were you ever that 1 in 1 million? If so, what's your story? For my 7th birthday we went to Disneyland. They just happened to be having a car a day giveaway when we were there. For my 7th birthday, Mickey Mouse gave me a Pontiac Firebird. Do you still have the car? Nah, since I was only 7 at the time. The car went to my mom. By the time I was old enough to drive, it was scrap. I was diagnosed with leukemia. I got a bacteria growth which killed the leukemia. A real 1 in 1 million chance. Edit. I almost died thanks to that bacteria though. Edit. THX for the silver and gold kind strangers. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I'm a 19-year-old male. In August of last year, I was driving with my sister when suddenly her face turned cold. Gavin, your eyes are yellow. I remember her saying. I quickly pulled down the passenger's mirror, and to my horror, 2 yellow eyes radiated back at me. Fast forward, I spent a month being sick. The initial diagnosis was hepatitis A. Went back to the doctor, nothing was better. Things were worse in fact. Was sent to the ER, then to the liver transplant unit at UCSF. By this point my eyes had turned muddy orange, and my pee was the color of a mahogany tree. Anyways, the team of liver doctors at UCSF managed to save my liver. I was diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis. Oh, and my eyes are white again. I'm allergic to potatoes. Never met someone else who is, so I guess it's 1 in a million. Never eaten chips or fries. Not me, but my mom is allergic to potatoes. Never met someone else with a potato allergy except my mom. Wow. When I was a kid, I was chilling in the water of the Mediterranean Sea in Turkey. Suddenly I felt an awful burning sensation on my stomach and my legs. I looked like I had been brutally sandpapered and I got a 40C, 104F fever. Turns out I made contact with a jellyfish, and later found out that it hadn't happened on that beach for 10 years or so. I was just extremely unlucky. What beach was it? I got a really minor jellyfish sting when I lived in Turkey also. No idea on the rarity at that beach though. It was in Alanya, 22 years ago. No sure about the odds on this one, but I survived a non-survivable plane crash. I was on an old PO2, famous for being very safe and uncrushable, on a tour of the desert in western China when I was like 7. My father's friend who hosted me and piloted the plane didn't survive, but somehow I got out with a concussion and apparently passed out for almost a day in the middle of the desert, in the wreckage of the crash, 50 kilometers from the town/airport, on the edge of the desert. The people who found me were some tree planters. They plant greens in the desert to protect towns from sandstorm. A lot of people live in these desert towns in China do this. Found me on their way picking up a shipment, and the only reason they looked was because they were making a bet on how fast the egg would cook in the sand and went off the road to test. Edit. First thing first, according to legends, 15 minutes. I never tested it though. So, according to my dads, the theory that I might have lived was because the plane was mostly made out of fabrics and wood. So when the plane crashed, the front half collapsed and took the majority of the impact. Though I got knocked out, I was probably covered under the wreckage and in the shades. It cooled me off enough to survive for a day or so. I slept wrong one night and pinched a nerve in my neck so severely I lost the right side of my body. It just went silent like it wasn't there for months. I woke up in the worst pain I've ever experienced and couldn't talk, move or do anything. The ER doctor thought I was having a stroke. My doctor had never seen a case as severe as mine and it was purely a freak accident. Recovery took months, but I have use of my leg and hand again, with some numbness. Other than pain and spasms, I'm mostly back to normal. I hate reading stuff like this. If you're not safe lying asleep on a mattress, where are you safe? If it makes you feel better, the chances of it happening are smaller than dying in a fire in your sleep. Had 2 11 centimeters benign tumors growing in my spine, resulting in gradual paralysis from my chest down. They had no idea how the tumors formed. Surgery took 11 hours when they thought it would take 4 because the tumors were so complexly woven throughout my spine. I now have pretty much half a spine and chronic pain, but I'd take that over losing my life from paralysis and being unable to breathe. A bird got into my room through a tiny hole in the ceiling and took a shit on me. Burp, hole in ceiling. He looks so angry that he got caught, lol. Unhand me, human. Get your filthy palms off of me, you barbarian. Do you know who I am? When I was a teenager I had just started working at the local Sears Auto Center Express Lube shop and on day 1 did a quick orientation in my first oil change. The manager walked away when he felt I was good to go and the oil change went well. Fast forward a few days later my manager asked me to come into his office and he explained that the oil filter I had used had one huge flaw. I didn't know what that was and it turned out the filter was pressed on backwards into the filter can and it wouldn't allow oil to flow in and it damaged the motor. They had to purchase a new motor for the person and I still kept my job. He said it was a 1 in a million chance that would have happened and it did on my first oil change. They have insurance for a reason. All sorts of weird stuff happened at our Walmart. Defective tires, filters, oil, you name it. They don't hold the employees accountable for their weird stuff. I've got the middle toes on both feet webbed, so did Stalin. Quack. This feels like a fun fact but at the same time a threat. Agree. That's a significantly menacing quack. Not sure if this is a blessing or a curse, but I'm an extremely tall human. 7 feet 3. Yes really, not sure how rare that is. 1 in 1.6 million of being over 7 feet tall. 1 in 2 of being asked how's the weather up there. 1 in 2 of being asked how's the weather up there. But 7 in 8 chance of being asked do you play basketball. I was struck by lightning while talking on a landline. This was in the early 90s. Lightning struck the telephone line and traveled through the handset to my ear. My parents drove me to the ER. I couldn't talk very well. My brain knew what I wanted to say, but my mouth didn't want to say it. I had a terrible stutter. My doctor told me that I had had a dose of good old-fashioned electroshock therapy. My speech was normal the next day, but I get a terrible headache whenever a thunderstorm comes through. Edit. Autocucumber. Edit 2. Thank you for the gold. I'm allergic to the cold, like literally. I get intense hives, swelling, I pass out, and throw up. Doesn't even have to be freezing. Below 45 degrees without a jacket and I can't do it. I have to carry an EpiPen with me in the event that I drink something too cold or have a severe reaction. Edit. Thank you kind stranger for my first silver. Please tell me you moved somewhere warm. It's been 4 hours. I guess the winter got him. I have the rarest type of synesthesia, lexical gustatory. It means I taste words. What's it like? With food words I'd imagine you'd taste the food. But what do numbers taste like? Colors, nouns. Do people's names have a taste? Sorry for the spam but this sounds so darn cool. Yep, food words taste like the food. Other than that, words just have their own tastes regardless of what they mean. Also, the same words in different accents taste different. Bought $3 worth of pong balls at one of those games at the state fair. I think it was 10 balls, and the grand prize is in the middle and you have to land it in a small glass container. I was having fun and just decided to throw it by flicking my wrist in a weird way. It bounced around for a while and landed right in the red glass container, which was the grand prize. Even the worker was surprised that I got it. Had to walk around the state fair with a giant Charmander plush toy after that. That is a success. I once guessed a 6-digit random combination on the first try. It was the only try I planned to give, as a kind of scratch pad whatever moment. What was it? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Edit. Can't believe my most upvoted comment is a random number. Amazing. That's the combination on my luggage. Remind me to change the combination on my luggage. I had 8 wisdom teeth. The dentist had never seen anything like it and called the whole office into marvel at my teeth. Edit. Can't find the x-ray but I still have the teeth. I had one in my sinus cavity. Uterus ruptured into my bladder after birth of my youngest. It was 1/4 of an inch from a major artery. Nearly died. Wow. The human body sucks at giving birth. Hope you're better now. I was kidnapped when leaving work and held for 18 months, along with 2 other girls. The guy who took us claimed himself to be an ineffable lower god, and used cult tactics, manipulation and control to have us be his family. I was allowed to leave to the grocery store as an errand, but knew if I didn't come back the others would receive my punishment. I finally got away by stabbing my captor when I believed he was going to kill me. My ex was struck by lightning several times and lived, died in a car accident though, so not as lucky as he claimed to be. Life's a bitch like that sometimes. One thread about a man that lived early last century who would let himself be locked in a wooden barrel, floated down the river and plummeted off the Niagara Falls, just for the thrill. He made it out just fine and would repeat the stunt a few more times, that is, until he slipped over an orange peel, of all things, broke his neck and died. I'm a test tube baby and so is my fraternal twin, so yes, my younger brother is also a test tube baby. Fun fact, I'm also a test tube baby. In vitro, boys and girls unite. My dad once asked me for a quarter, I tossed it to him and it went directly into his shirt pocket. Blizzard gave me Overwatch for free for no reason, so that probably counts. You have been visited by the smart studying doggo. You'll be blessed with good grades only if you subscribe to Comment Awards and like the video. PG! On top, food chain won't stop. New game. Hot box that blue haze. One lock, 2 chains. No bras, 2 babes. Mic drop. New stage. Lights in my rear view. 5 cops. Food race. Faster than a Tesla. They say I'm exhausted.